Can you even remember the last time you heard any news, or anything in general, about CDPR? I mean, it's a massive company. They made Cyberpunk 2077, they made The Witcher, and they're doing so many different things now. And yet, no news. For at least 2 months, I think, I don't remember hearing anything about this. And recently, I came across this post. And then I remembered, yeah, CDPR is expanding their workforce for their, American and Canada locations and scaling up their production for the new stuff that they're making. And then I got interested. What's actually happening? And then I found something which is even more hilarious. So this started it all. CD Projekt Red recruits former BioWare employee as new AI director. Now, granted, the word AI director already sounds bad, but BioWare employee? The same you mean Dragon Age the Veil God? Everyone got fired because it was a massive disaster, BioWare? Well, this. Oh, wait, it's not gonna load. This is the guy that we're talking about, and surprise, surprise, I actually found him. This is the guy on IMDb, and his accolades are, well, he did work at BioWare, but he worked for Mass Effect Andromeda? I'm not even sure if that's better or worse than Dragon Age the Veilguard, honestly, at this point. In any case, his previous experience was making a Code Lyco? It's a children's cartoon, by the way. A game based on that. And his other work experience is rightfully now McDonald's because he was blacklisted, hopefully, from the industry after participating in making Mass Effect Andromeda, of all things unholy. And now, CDPR has just hired this guy as not just a basic worker, but the director of AI. That is insane. That alone sounds kind of insane. And then we have more news on this, by the way. This happened. This happened literally yesterday. CDPR Red, CD Projekt Red, I should say, has also hired the previous cinematic animator from Expedition 33. That's right, the big game of the year winner. Really good game. Now, granted, you probably think, wait a minute, well, okay, so this guy right here, huge red flag. But this one seems kind of good, right? Well, here's the thing that I have never talked about, and I'm pretty sure no one else has talked about. Honestly, the fact that Expedition 33 was a success, I maybe is bottle in the lightning because the studio is actually quite filled with activists. You may have actually heard that the voice actress of Mael, like, she is a blatant 100% activist, okay? She identifies as non-binary and all of those things. She literally wants to push activism on gaming, and she's just flat out saying it. By the way, she's literally just she literally just comes out and says that she wants to do that. She wants to change gaming for all the wrong reasons. So the fact that it's an Expedition 33 person is not necessarily the best thing, but this is still pretty tame. And then I looked into what's happening in CDPR even more, and yeah, suddenly everything just seems so much worse. Because I found something, boys. Listen, I found something. So if you remember a year ago, or a little bit more than a year ago, there was this massive thing about CDPR pretty much openly just becoming woke. I covered it. A lot of people covered it. They were hiring extreme activists. And their director, not their director, but their CEO literally had to come out and said, "We are not woke. Everything is okay. Relax." And obviously that backfired tremendously. And if we currently look at what's happening with CDPR, if they're, with their, for example, their official webpage, you kind of look at it and it seems kind of normal. Like, tell me if I'm wrong. This is their about page. The studio, very cool, very well made, good photo, love it, absolutely great. It's our values: be ambitious, set the goals, and preserve. Be honest with everyone at all times. That's a little bit sus, honestly. Be kind and respectful to everyone around you. Also, kind of sus, isn't it? Always remember about gamers. Yeah. And then you have the offices and blah, blah, blah. All of this kind of looks above water. All of this looks fine, right? Then you look at their, posts, blog posts, their unpaid interns, what they are effectively doing and posting. And it's a bunch of garbage. But it's all garbage that's kind of above water and seems reasonable, right? Remember, this is what we call in the industry a setup. A prelude, if you will. Seems normal, right? Remember that one. You look at their, their section about the themes. Their themes. Look at this: design and story, some kind of normal-looking dude. Production, another one. Art, some kind of wiki-wacky, just fresh out of high school girl who, finally scored a job. Has a few piercings, but not even a septum piercing. Not even a septum piercing. Seems normal, right? The engineers, look at that, boys. A dude who doesn't shower. My God, that's the best engineer I have seen in a decade. And, marketing and PR, a random woman who doesn't even know where she works probably most of the time and drinks on the job. Typical marketing. A studio operations, people who barely work, music and audio, a picture of headphones. Absolutely based. And all of this seems reasonable. Localizer, some fat dude. And, all of this seems normal. All of this seems decent, right? But then the smartest of you will remember that, wait a minute, didn't CDPR have a literal dissection the for diversity? Yes. It's still here. Interesting. And this section has just gotten bigger because you see, CDPR are obviously big fans of diversity and whatnot. So they want diverse teams. Our identity is the core of who we are, and it is what we share with others while working together. The potential, blah blah blah, garbage. Inclusive leaders. So, people who are not best fit for the job, but probably are a certain skin tone based. Equitable process. No idea what that buzzword even means, but I'm sure it has something to do with everyone's favorite skin color. Okay? And are you oppressed or whatnot? So this section is still dead, but this section is actually growing. You see, this section actually gets updated. Holy. So, this is new. Previously, the last time we looked at this, there was none of this, okay? And the CDPR has been doing strides, inwardly, slowly, and very, very noiselessly, almost stealthy, if you will, done a lot of diversification, added diversity and shit. Now, most people understood that CDPR is probably fucking dead from the moment that they decided to move to America and Canada. Some of the most woke parts of America and Canada, by the way, Montreal and Boston, I think. In any case, yeah. CDPR has joined a bunch of things, and one of the craziest things is like a far lefty Polish project that is supposed to bring wokeness to Poland, and they are a part of those things. This diversity charter in Poland. Poland doesn't force you to do any of this. They don't. Okay? They, in fact, kind of advocate against this slop. But here we are. CDPR is officially joining it. And all of this was kind of sus, because you see, everything here looks normal almost. Even their hires seem like they're normal people. But when you look at them, they're kind of woke. And I'm like, but I haven't heard anything. The last time I heard about it, CDPR Red was actually hiring some insane fucking activists. And then I decided to look into their community managers because I wanted to see what's happening. Maybe those community managers are fired. And then I found this. This is one of their senior community managers at CD Projekt Red. Self-proclaimed, blah, blah, blah. When you look at this almost seems normal, okay? This almost seems pretty normal. I'm uploading a thing so it doesn't load. I need to call my internet provider. They fucked up again. I'm pissed. In any case, if you look at this profile, it seems kind of almost normal. A little bit like raunchy, but, you know, kind of normal. Then you find the other one. Okay, the other one. This one, look at this. Senior community and social media manager, CD Projekt Red, blah, blah, blah. Previously, Horizon, yes, Age of Empire, AMD stuff. Tweets Canadian sports hype, okay? And I'm like, oh yeah, this is just a person about sports and shit. Is she even actually part of CDPR? Well, actually, yes, she is. If it would load, internet providers, thank you, you would actually see one picture with the CDPR thing. And I'm going through this on my own, and I'm thinking, what the hell is happening here? CDPR not even a year ago was hiring fucking crazies, and considering they haven't fired a bunch of people, this should still be happening. And then I was like, I gotta find the crazy community manager lady, and I'm like, oh, here she is. Found a Reddit post, which summarized it up. I did a video about this, by the way, and it's like Naria Lee, blah blah blah, all of this, and I'm like, well, let's find her. And I'm like, I can't find her. And I'm like, I'm looking at this, and I'm like, her name is also Naria Lee. Wow, that's a real coincidence, isn't it? But it's nothing like it. And I scroll through this, and then I find a picture, and I find this. Okay, I'm in front of it. See, this one. Look, I find this. This is still there. Yes, this is actually the same person. This is the same person. She deleted all of the Vogue crap. But she's still Vogue, don't get it wrong. Look at this. The re-dyed the hair color and whatnot. This person also. By the way, you can find actually pictures if they load that she is an activist. They're hidden. CDPR management most likely has said, okay, people are speculating about us becoming Vogue, and that's a real issue. So everyone hide the Vogue, because all of them are doing it. I can't find anyone who's working at CDPR that isn't actually Vogue, but they represent stuff outwardly. This is insanity. CDPR is trying to make people forget that they're Vogue activists. Like, look at this. This person who tweeted this shit and looked like that previously, all of this is gone. All of this is gone. They're replaced by this. And you can bet everything you have on the fact that she's still insane. So CDPR, because of pressure, because people were calling them out and saying it's over for CDPR with everything they have done in the past year and a half or two, they are starting to hide this shit. They're still Vogue AF. I mean, their Vogue section just gets bigger and bigger by the month, it seems like. But they're hiding. This is insane. They're legitimately trying to hide and hope that people forget that they're woke. This is insane. Oh my god, this is absolute insane. I have never seen anything like this. Wow. In any case, that's it. But this is honestly very impressive. Very impressive. They're hiring activists, but they're telling them keep it on the down low, okay? We're gonna make the vocest game ever, but you gotta keep it on the down low. Wow, I never expected to see something like this. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.